Hello and welcome all. This is the part 1 video of 3-part video series for automating Azure Resource creation with Vsts or TFS. In this video, we're going to look at service principal name, what it is, why we need them, and how to create them using Portal and from PowerShell. So let's get started. So what is service principal name? So Azure Service Principal name is analogous to an identity, like you log into your portal.azure.com with your identity. Similar to that, Azure Principal name is an identity using which you can access your Azure resources. When I say Azure resources, I mean it could be a virtual machine scale set, virtual network, or any PaaS solutions or anything that you have in your Azure. So you might ask, when I already have a credential and identity, why would I need a service principal name? Service principal name would be ideal and come into picture when you have an application or custom application which is trying to interact with the resources in Azure. Like say I have created a C sharp application and I want that particular C sharp application to be able to authenticate itself and talk to Azure portal and spin up new VMs in a schedule basis or on an on-demand basis. I need to create some resources. So in these kind of scenarios, service principal name comes in handy to authenticate and do stuff. Yeah. For us, it is important in this series because we're gonna use service principal name and write PowerShell or something else to automate the process of creation of the actual services. Yeah. There are multiple ways of creating the service principal name. One is through Portal. You can create them through PowerShell. You can create them to C Sharp and other stuff. So I'm gonna show how to create them to Portal, and then we're gonna see how we can create them through PowerShell. So let's get started. So let me just launch a browser. On my browser in here. I'm logging into my portal. Use this account. Now I've logged into my portal. I'm gonna navigate to my Active Directory. So make sure that you have your Active Directory permissions. So cannot be a contributor and create a service principal name. You need to have a permission to create a user. So you gotta be either at least an Active Directory administrator to be able to do this operation. Yeah. So let me just quickly select an appropriate directory. This is fine. I'm gonna navigate to Azure Active Directory again and go to app registrations. So I'm gonna create an app and I'm gonna call it Sonnet Demo Source Principal Name from Portal. Yeah. I can keep it to the default application type and type in an sign in URL. It could be anything. I'm gonna keep it as localhost and hit and create. Yeah, once it's successfully created, I'm gonna copy a few things. First one is application ID. I'll tell you why I need this later. Yeah, let me just put that in a particular file. I'm just gonna save it here and say app ID. I'm gonna go back and we're gonna go to settings, keys. I need to create one. Got this login key. I can set the expiration. Hit and save. As soon as I hit and save, it generates a value. Let me just copy that and close it. Save this as key, and I would need a tenant ID as well. I can get to my tenant ID from my portal. Properties, Active Directory properties, directory IDs, nothing but my tenant ID. Here, let me just save this and say tenant ID. That's it. I have created my service principal name. Now all I need to do is give it some permissions. So to give it a permission, I have to navigate to my subscription and select, and then go into access control. And add. I could select any role that I want to. I get all the niceness of role-based access control. I'm gonna set it as contributor, and I'm gonna select the name, Sanat demo. It starts showing up here. All I do is hit and save. That's it. It is trying to add that user, so it's successfully added. That's all I need to do to set up a Azure Service Principal name from portal. But how do I know that I've set it up properly and it's working? So let me try to log in using my credentials that I just created and see if it works. So to do that, I have a SPN login partial script. So this is usually how you log into Azure through partial. This is the command that you use, login Azure RM account. So there's a partial module. You need this module to be on your machine to try and call in this command. So I'm going to paste the link in the video description to install this module. So now you can now you know why I saved my app ID key and tenant IDs. I need those values to log in. So let me quickly go and grab them from here. I have my app ID. And then I'm gonna go and grab my key. And then tenant ID. There's nothing fancy going on here. I have just 3 parameters and I'm gonna generate my password. It needs to be in a secure string format. So I'm just passing my key in and generating a secure string out of it. And then creating a credential object, which is of the type PS credential using my app ID and password. And then I'm just calling into Azure RM account with those credentials and into my tenant ID. Let's see if this works. Yep. Have a bug in my PowerShell. I just need to do this. Let me just do this. Need to log out. Azure RM interaction. Silent continue. It should work now. Authority should be of URI format. Think might be because of the space in here. Let us try again. Voila. I have logged in. Just to make sure that I have, maybe I just need to call in. Let me just uh, call into one of the commands and see if things are working. Get Azure RM resource group. So I'm just gonna call in this command and check what it returns. Yeah. Just call this in. I can see that it returned a resource group name as demo resource group. Let me just go back and see what are the resource group I have right now in this tenant. That is loading, and I can say, yep, this is the resource group that it just mentioned. So with this, we can confirm that we are able to log in using service principal name, and we were able to create a service principal name through portal. So you don't want to go, if you don't want to go through all the hassle of going to the portal and creating it, uh, you can do that using PowerShell script as well. So let me quickly walk you through the PowerShell script that creates a service principal name for you. Yeah, all you need are these values. You need subscription ID, tenant ID. You set a password in here. It is not going to use the key. You can use a random password that you want. So I've set a password here. You set a app name. I'm going to set it as PowerShell service principal name. And then I'm going to log in with my account, select the appropriate subscription that I want, and then pass in those values, set up a Azure application like we did in the portal, and then using that application ID and password, we create a service principal name, and then we create a service principal. Once the service principal name gets created, it takes some time to propagate through the Active Directory to other part of it. So you'll have to sleep for about 60 seconds and then try and assign a role. You can see that I'm trying to assign a contributor role to this particular app ID. If I take this off, it kind of throws a random exception. It does not find the service principal name. So it's good to have this one. And let's see if this works. It's popping me a login. Phone dev. Try to log in. I'm logging. I've just logged in. It tries to run my command. It might take some time. Okay, the script has run, and I can see that my new principal name has been created. Maybe let's just quickly see if I can use this and log in. I just have to uncomment this. And see if it works. Yep, it did. And again, let's just see if this works and if we can get the resource group. Yep, it's working. So that's about it. This is how we're going to configure SPN, and in the coming videos I'm going to show how we can use the service principal name and create resources in Azure using a VSTS continuous delivery pipeline. Thank you for watching.